Good morning, dear friends, guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, all of you, to the demonstration lecture on the application of human body regenerative restoration science. Since the human civilization was recorded by history, various approaches in science systems have been created for the health and longevity of human beings. Human rejuvenation and lifespan extension is a long-standing dream of people and also an objective of the scientific research of scientists. A new science system, human body regenerative restoration science, was created for this objective. HBRRS takes advantage of a new combination of regenerative functions of nutrients to activate human body's congenital regenerative potential. To facilitate the regenerative capacity of autologous cells to regenerate new cells in situ, so as to replenish the damaged and/or diseased cells and replace the aged cells, and eventually to achieve the dream of good health and longevity. Today is a special and memorable day during which the application of human body regenerative restoration science will be demonstrated and released to the world, marking the day human life science steps into a new era. Now, please allow me to introduce the guests present. Firstly, our American friends made a special trip from the USA for today's lecture. Dr. Shannon, a famous gerontologist in the USA and professor at the University of Southern California. Mr. Hacker and Ms. Brensel, well-known lawyers from the USA. Zhai Huisheng, Party Secretary of All China Association of Journalists. Zhang Deling, former Standing Deputy Secretary of State Organs Work Committee of the CPC. Xiao Qihui, former Governor of Heilongjiang Province and former Director of State Administration of Machinery Industry. Zhou Jingdong, former Deputy Secretary of State Organs Work Committee of the CPC and Committee Member of CPPCC. Shun Huangzhong, President of the Board of Supervisors of the State Council. Nicholas Ayala, Counselor of Nigeria in China. Mr. Zahur Ahmed, Minister of Pakistan in China. Mr. Hamid Reza Farahani and Mr. Amir Human Kazemi, Consultants of Science and Technology Department of Iran Embassy in China. Sun Da Lun, Justice of Peace of Hong Kong, President of China Hong Kong Photo Products Group. Zhang Zhongyu, Committee Member of CPPCC, President of Beijing High-Tech Wealth Company Limited. Liu Xiaocheng, a famous cardiovascular scientist and President of TEDA International Cardiovascular Hospital. Mu Dawei, Secretary General of Chinese Association of Integrative Medicine. Wang Tiecheng, Vice Chairman and Secretary of China International Exchange and Promotive Association for Medical and Health Care. Zhang Fan, Director of Chinese Medical Doctor Association. Welcome, all of you. Firstly, let us welcome the guests to give speeches. The first speaker, Mr. Zhai Huisheng, please.
Good morning, Honorable Professor Su, leader and foreign guests. I am very glad to be here for this meeting. Nowadays, we live in a world where things are more and more complicated, that we are troubled by and tired of them. Therefore, we begin to pay more attention to our health, which indeed has become a hot topic of modern society, and also one of the most concerning problems because of its close relationship with the development of the national economy and people's livelihoods. Not only the central government, but also the common people have diverted more of their attention to health problems. Also, many social problems occurring these days have a direct relationship with human health. Professor Xu proposed the concept of regenerative restoration in the health field, which has had a profound effect. By saying this, I am not overstating his achievements politically. Instead, I am stating my objective viewpoint from the perspective of a journalist, with evidence from the research development of Professor Xu, science itself. I think it is consistent with the laws of science and philosophy. At the beginning, he studied the treatment of skin burns, which are on the outside of the body, and now he engages himself in gastrointestinal functions, which is inside the body. This process from the outside to the inside itself is in line with the laws of cognitive science, so his results, I think, have a solid practical basis. While of course in theory, there are still a profound study As media personage, we are supposed to be direct to the public. Now we need to direct the public in health field. So I hope people of the media can guide the public in the right direction, so that they can understand the new scientific results and know how to be healthy. After all, health is the most precious wealth in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jai. Well, the following speech is from the representative of the club volunteers. Let's welcome Mr. Sun Da Lun to give speech on behalf of the overseas club members. Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I made acquaintance with Professor Xu in the 1990s when I was studying drug toxicology in the United States. In my mind, I have always believed that Western medicine has a strong toxicity. Since I came back to Hong Kong, I have engaged myself in the commercial business. In 1990s, I got the chance to follow Professor Xu to participate in his activities. I believe the development of traditional Chinese medicine and science can shed bright and promising prospect in the field of life regeneration. During the last decade, Professor Xu made continuous studies and research to develop it. And now I know more about his human body regenerative restoration science. I think his science is a great contribution to human beings. We all know that since ancient China, numerous dynasty emperors were desperate to find the ways of medication, of rejuvenation. Now we get the chance of achieving the ideal. I have participated in Professor Xu's club and have taken his products, which gave me a lot of confidence and encouragement. I believe that I have inexhaustible energy and spirit to serve the world and society. I hope Professor Xu can bring more hope and glory for overseas Chinese and contribute more to the scientific development of China. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sun. Now let's welcome Dr. Shannon, who came from the USA especially for this lecture and himself is a famous gerontologist and a professor at the University of Southern California.
Thank you very much. Honored guest, I will be brief. But I want to express my thanks, first of all, to Vivo and to Dr. Su and his son, Kevin Su, for the kindness that they have extended to me and to my friends from America. The importance of cell regeneration cannot be overstated. And I'm sincerely pleased to be a part of this project. As a gerontologist, University of Southern California. My life is occupied with trying to find solutions to aging issues, aging problems, diseases, chronic illnesses that plague older adults, not just in America, but all over the world. At this moment in time, we all know that the aging population is burgeoning. It's exploding all over the world. And it's important. In fact, its importance cannot be overstated, as I said, to the well-being of every human being on this planet. So I thank Dr. Su for his wonderful experiments. The outcomes that he has developed are astonishing. And I once again thank you very much for the kindness that you've expressed to me.
Thank you, Dr. Shannon. Now let's welcome Mr. Zhang Zhengyu to give us a speech.
I am the president of Beijing High-Tech Wealth Co., Limited. I am an IT man, so I know little about medical theory. But I have paid close attention to Xu's research and outcome. For more than 20 years, we have known each other. 6 years ago, Xu told me the animal experiments had obtained successful results. And thus the anti-aging and regenerative restoration tests on human beings would begin. I joined his club actively, and I am proud to be his first club member. Now I want to say something about my own experience and feelings. Through the 6-year treatment, my whole body really became younger and seemed to be countering against the laws of time. I have no doubt about it, since this is my own practice. I have no idea how to summarize it in theory. Today, Professor Xu will give us a comprehensive summary of his theory and his research results. I firmly believe that practical application is the only way to validate a theory. In the future development of society, I believe MIBO regenerative science, which is derived from the practical application of MIBO substance and technique, will lead the development of our human life and health. Just now, before my speech, I chatted with guests upon this topic. When the People's Republic of China was set up, the average life expectancy was less than 40 years. But now we Chinese people are living a lifespan of more than 70 years, which is double the life expectancy in 1949. However, I think it is totally possible that MIBO regenerative science would double our lifespan again and extend our lifespan even longer. I personally think that Professor Xu has made a great contribution to our health and to the development of humankind. The night before last night, I talked with President of the Goldman Sachs Global Group. He said that 21st century is the century of China. I said that yes, it is China's century, but it includes many contents. I told him what he said is a general statement. I specially introduced him to the inventions of Professor Xu. I said that Professor Xu's MIBO career would probably be a landmark event of China's century. I hope we can all work together and join hands to promote the happiness and the development of all mankind in the new century. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zhang. Now let's welcome Mr. Xiao Qi-hui, the former governor of Heilongjiang Province, former director of State Administration of Machinery Industry, to give a speech on behalf of volunteers. Welcome.
I am a volunteer of MIBO Club. I knew Professor Xu in 2008. When I was diagnosed with chronic lymphocytic leukemia, I was frustrated and at a loss, since doctors could not help me a lot. Just at that time, my good friend Ren Hongbin helped me out, and he told me there is a Dr. Xu Rongxiang in the China National Association of Young Scientists who may be able to help me. I came and found him. I joined MIBO Club as a volunteer to accept the treatment arrangements for me. For these years, I have stuck to taking MIBO products regularly, without missing a dosage. Even when I go on a trip, I will take enough products. I dare not say I follow every aspect of the treatment, but I strictly obey and take the prescribed dosage at a regular time. Now I am 77 years old. Since taking of MIBO products, my whole body improved a lot. I cannot describe it in professional medical terms, but I am the living model of MIBO's achievements. In particular, at the time when my conditions were worse, and I accepted chemotherapy for more than 6 months. Doctors told me that my digestive system would be affected, and I would vomit and have no appetite. But Professor Xu arranged for me a whole program. So during the entire chemotherapy regimen, my appetite was as good as before, and my weight even increased by 3 kilograms. This is MIBO's contribution. So today, I come here to learn as a volunteer. I hope Dr. Xu and his MIBO career has become better and better, so as to benefit more human beings in the world. Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Xiao. Lastly, we welcome Mr. Liu Xiaocheng, a famous cardiovascular scientist and president of TEDA International Cardiovascular Hospital, to give us a speech on behalf of scientific experts. Welcome.
Dear Mr. Xu, dear friends, good morning. Today in this meeting, if I'm not mistaken, I am the only medical professional besides Professor Shannon from California in the United States. This morning, I drove 180 kilometers from the Bohai seashore in the rain to come here for this meeting, which can tell you my attitude towards Mr. Xu's theory. Today, I come here with eagerness of wanting to know what progress Mr. Xu has achieved since we met last time. I also knew Professor Xu through the introduction of Mr. Ren Hongbin 3 years ago, just like Mr. Xiao. He introduced MIBO to me face-to-face for 3 hours, though at that time I was still very skeptical about it. When I met Professor Xu, I told him I have heard of him many times. In 1991, when I visited Thailand with the director of Chinese Science